If you live paycheck to paycheck, all of your money comes in and all of it goes out by the end of the month. At first glance, this might not look like it's a problem. After all, you're paying your bills on time, right? But if that's all you do, you won't be able to look ahead. Here's a few ways that can help you to stop living from paycheck to paycheck. Get on a budget. Maybe you have no idea where your paychecks go. You're just keeping the lights on and the food on the table. So how do you go broke so fast when all you're doing is the bare minimum? Or at least you think you are. It is now time to begin budgeting. Why? Because when you budget, you direct where your money goes rather than wondering where it went. When you budget, you'll notice spending habits you weren't even aware of. Then you can make the necessary changes to achieve your goal, both now and in the future. We can't stress this enough, budgeting is the foundation for all money management, and it's the first step toward breaking the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Don't put it off any longer. Make a budget. Take care of your four walls first. When creating your budget, you'll start by listing your income and then subtracting your expenses. What expenses should you prioritize? The essentials, also known as the four walls. They are your top priority, so make sure your budget allows you to pay for these things first, in this order: food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. After you've taken care of those, make a list of everything else you need to pay for and prioritize it. When you run out of money, that's the end of it. You halt your spending? But if you start with the four walls, you'll know you're feeding your family, keeping the lights on, have a roof over your head, and enough gas to get to work. Start an emergency fund. Let's talk about an emergency fund. First and foremost, you'll need $1,000 to get started. You may be wondering why you need to save right now when you're struggling to make ends meet. Great question, but guess what? Knowing you have this buffer between you and life will provide you with a lot of peace. It's your safety net for when life happens. If you find yourself in a bind, you can pay cash without worrying about which bills you'll have to forego this month to make ends meet. All you have to do is make small but deliberate daily, weekly, and even monthly changes. And it will be completely worthwhile. Stop living with debt. So, here's the deal: debt is a stumbling block. You're still paying off last year's Christmas gifts in June. Then you have to pay off the beach vacation in December. You can't get ahead that way. And debt is becoming increasingly evasive. Installment payment companies are on the rise these days. At the checkout, they entice you by telling you that you can pay for that French press in 4 easy payments. Do you really want to invest in a high-end coffee maker for 4 months? No, listen. Living with debt of any kind is one of the biggest reasons you're still stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Get the hell out. Here's how it works. First and foremost, do yourself a favor and stop taking on any new debt. That means you should stop using your credit card to pay for things. Do not get a new car loan. Say no to saving 10% on that cardigan by opening a store card, which will cost you in the long run. Next, use the debt snowball to pay it off in order of smallest to largest. Consider this: when you make your budget, how much of your money goes toward debt payments each month? That's how much money you'll get back once the debt is paid off. Goodbye payments, and hello progress. Sell stuff. It's now time to make more money. Selling whatever you can is one of the simplest ways to make some extra cash. It could be your jewelry, clothes, baby items, or even the extra car in your garage. Yes, really. At the very least, consider it. Look, if you can sell something for money, do it. You'll give your bank account or budget some extra cushioning, which is going to be overwhelmingly helpful. Start a temporary side hustle. If you've set a budget and sold some items, but are still struggling to make ends meet, you may require a consistent source of income. You might want to consider getting a second job or starting a side business. Waiting tables, driving for Uber or Lyft, being a barista, working at a call center, or signing up to be a substitute teacher are all excellent ways to supplement your income. There are also numerous work-from-home opportunities available after hours or on weekends. Yes, it will be difficult, but it's only temporary. You can slow down again once you have some money in savings and debt out of the way. Live below your means. This is critical, so don't skip it. Making more money will not help you if you continue to spend it all and then some. Don't start a side hustle while continuing to live a lifestyle you can't afford. If you're not careful, a raise in pay can lead to even more spending. This is called a lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation. You can suddenly afford things you couldn't before, and you may find yourself becoming a little too loose with your purse strings. It's tempting to spend more money when you're making more of it, but don't. Remember why you agreed to take on that extra job in the first place. Maintain your focus, pay attention, and stick to your budget. Look for things to cut. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, now isn't the time to treat yourself to T-bone steaks, a fancy vacation, or a trip to your favorite restaurant. Now is the time you need to cut back on spending, and start looking for any areas of your budget where you can spend less. Remove the cable. Call your internet and phone service providers to downgrade, or cancel your service for the time being. Instead of spending money on entertainment, visit the library and parks. Stop going out to eat. We understand that making such sacrifices does not feel good. It stings. But keep reminding yourself that this will not last forever. You're making short-term sacrifices. It's time to start working now so you can be in a better position later. Save up for big purchases. Nothing makes you want to count down the minutes until payday more than having just blown a large sum of money on a large purchase. So, if you see something coming, such as the tread on your tires becoming severely worn, save up and pay cash. That way, instead of blowing an entire month's budget, you're saving a little bit each month. Second, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you shouldn't make large purchases that aren't absolutely necessary. We talked about vacations, but consider the things you know you want but don't need, such as that awesome gaming system a friend is selling. Even if it's a great deal, now isn't the time to buy. So simply say no. Meal plan. Food. It's the first of the four walls, and you have to eat. But it's also a budget category that, if you're not careful, can spiral out of control. Meal planning allows you to avoid the temptations of the drive-thru, because you know what's for dinner at home. You also spend less money on groceries if you know exactly what you need to buy for the week. No more random impulse purchases or tons of fresh vegetables purchased with good intentions, but no plans and ending up moldy in the trash. You'll waste less and spend less, which frees up budget space and allows you to get ahead. Remember your why. Living paycheck to paycheck can feel like you're stuck in a revolving door with your finances. You're going in circles and never getting anywhere. You start trying out some of these tips and begin to make progress as soon as you decide you don't want to go in circles any longer. It can be slow at times. It can be difficult. On some days, you may want to give up. This is the moment you need to remember your why when things get tough. If it helps to think about your long-term goals, such as traveling during retirement, paying for your children's college tuition, or purchasing that beachfront condo, then do that. If you only need to think one step ahead right now and imagine a life where you don't have to worry about overdraft fees or hearing your card has been declined, then do that. Remember your why when you're delivering groceries. Remember your why when you hesitate to click add to cart despite the fact that you really want but don't need those shoes. When you make your own coffee instead of going to the barista, keep your why in mind. Some days are going to be more difficult than others. And making such a significant change in your life is going to be tough, but you're tougher. Stop living paycheck to paycheck and begin living again. That's a wrap for this video. We hope these pointers can help you level up your financial lifestyle. If you have any tips we might have missed, let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.